Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this matter. I'll come to Ramati.
Okay, so I'm thinking of how I can make it right on my own part with the example that Tope gave concerning the drug and all of that. You said we should go and ask the person that's okay, these fake drugs, you know, he's celebrating and all of that. If the people that, are doing their jobs, these fake drugs will not even come into existence. So it means that that person must have paid his way. He must have paid his way for those drugs to get into that warehouse. And me, that I am just a normal person, I'll go and I'll get the drugs. I won't even think that this the drug is fake or is bad for me. I won't know. Because if those people are at the right place, do their jobs, if they do their job, it will even get
some comments on social media.
Let's even rephrase it. You know, kidnapping, that was when a kidnapped kingpin was arrested, and they said the community, not Evans, this was within the north, Wadume. The community knew what he was doing to make his money. They knew that he was kidnapping to make money. But they said it was good to them. Selfishness. They said, yes, we know he's a kidnapping kingpin, but he's giving us ball. Government did not give us ball. He's taking care, he's paying school fees for people. So they protected him. But I feel if they knew the impact of the kidnapping, if they understand that when your child gets kidnapped, you do not sleep, you cannot wake up. If they understand the impact, if they bring it close to home, corruption is always like it's them until your own person is involved. Kidnapping is them until you find out that one of your family members was kidnapped and you're gathering money to pay for ransom. That is when we understand the impact. So for them, they did not see the story. They only see the evidence of the wealth, which is the benefit it gives to them. What we are saying in telling the story is tell the story of the impact of that corruption.
All the layers.
All the layers onto that person, so that those boys that are hailing him and those that are shielding Wadume at that time will be able to say, Mommy, let's not shield again. No, this is what his impact of what he's doing.
But they're trying to survive.
But you know, a depraved mind cannot understand.
Exactly. Why is
education? Yes, as basic as water supply you don't have. And somebody is coming as Messiah to me. No, there's nothing you would say that will make me change my mind against that Messiah. So we all need to work together. And I'm sorry, I'm not calling government today, but they need to do what needs to be done if we are deliberate about the change that we want.
Exactly.
The basics, nobody's asking for too much. The basics, just simple. Good roads, a quality education, water supply, blah, 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 blah. Functional judiciary. People can trust that if I have an issue with you and I take it to the police, they will adjudicate properly. You will not bribe them and get away scot-free. And I trust that. If you're coming to come and do me with extra things, I don't need it. I'm okay. That's why we get people to be self-sufficient and content with what they have. Right now, people are depraved. Like anything that just gets us out of this darkness, you become their Messiah. And that's what many of these people, rich people, politicians, people who want corrupt people use to hold them. So anywhere you're going,
there's no hierarchy.
Nothing, everything is.
Once Nigerians have that,
forget it.
Then we can begin to, let's take a few comments on social media. I'm sure lots of our viewers would like to participate in this conversation.
Yes. Fiona says kidnapping is bad, though. I think is that somebody's dad was kidnapped. Okay, my own dad was kidnapped. We didn't sleep. That's not a good experience at all. Zamsi says the same way we all know the election riggers and vote buyers in our communities and we do nothing about it. Instead, we go there and dobale. Hafsa says at top where they understand the impacts. Nigeria has taken us to the level where everybody's thinking survival irrespective of who gets hurt. Lua Shehu says our locals too, they enable. See, mentioned them. I think IPOP, no one has ever called them out. Hafsa says if someone in authority can't do better.
Somebody was this IPOP thing that I was talking about Nnamdi Kanu, release Nnamdi Kanu. And we see that Nigerians have such short memories. Because when somebody was releasing videos of the things that he had done, the atrocities he had caused, people were now saying, okay, because people are saying, for the sake of peace, just release this man. And many of us share that and say, okay, please, if this release is going to cause this, I beg, release the man. Then somebody now came out to remind us, do you remember what this person, I mean, are you Nigerians, are you okay? These are the things that this man has said. These are the things that, we have shot, these are the things he has done that, and the reason why the state is holding on to him. Yes, they have of course, their legal issue, but the point is that as people, we must always see the bigger picture. It's not about, just release this man and let everything go well. But what are the ripple effects of releasing this one person? Are we thinking wide? Are we not just stop thinking about this, our myopic mindset of this is one thing we want? Oh, we want this school to be built, forgetting that this school is going to be built in a community that is going to block. I mean, there was a thing that happened where somebody bought a house, and he built that house on the canal. The commissioner for environment came and was pulling down the house. And the guy went on social media and was saying that they want to put them out, turn it to an ethnic conversation, and people saying, oh, and then he went and said, who gave you permission? They're asking for the documentation. They couldn't provide the documents. Who gave you the permission to build on this canal? Yes, of course, the people in government that are corrupt that will definitely enable you to do, get away with it. But this is that we don't see the ripple effect because you've built your house, but it's affecting, water is pushing, the entire community is clogged because of this, your one house. We don't think like that. We don't care. It's at least I have a house. You now start bringing the sentiment that, oh, my children are there, and my wife is there, my in-laws are there, you want to throw us out on the streets. Hello? The whole community cannot have, is flooded because of this one house. So we don't think of others.
I think it's something that we can use religious houses to push as well, because a lot of Nigerians are religious. But what we hear, the messages that go viral are the messages about how we must all get wealthy because everybody needs money, you know. Healing because the hospitals are not working, so you must pray for miracle because if you can't afford healthcare. But we can also use the religious houses, the Christians, the Muslims, these platforms to reshape minds and educate people about the consequences and the impact of what they are doing. Because I wanted to first say that Nigerian Orientation Agency, because I know we have a new person who has great agenda and great plans for what he wants to do in the National Orientation Agency. And he's been on the show. I wish him best of luck. I want to see more activities towards pushing the new narrative of new Nigeria, what Nigeria will be about. But I think collaboration with those pastors, imams, would also help in channeling these right values.
Imams do it a lot.
I watch those things.
To some imams.
I listen to
a lot of imams actually, because you see the imams, they speak it in a language that people connect.
Yes,
maybe the videos me I have seen, maybe the Christian churches, maybe there are some Yoruba churches that do the same thing. I don't know, it's possible. But I listen to some imams speak, and they go to the fabric. They give you examples. The same way the Quran gives you. They illustrate examples, they break it down. Yes. They don't give you these vague rules. They tell you in the various scenarios. In this happen, if your wife dies, if your husband dies, this is what happens. You know, the percentage is broken down. Yes. So the same way, even the imams in their preaching, a lot of times they tell you stories. They break it down. They give you scenarios. So yeah, I get that part.
But we still not the yen.
Of course, we don't hear. Of course,
Ade from London. Thanks for calling, sir. You're live.
Good morning, ladies. You take me for 30 minutes, holding on.
I'm so sorry, sir.
Apologies,
anyway,
sir.
My contribution is this. In Nigeria, we operate a microwave system. Because how can somebody own 753 houses in Abuja? They don't know who owns that house. They don't know who owns that property. And nobody is talking about it anymore.
Exactly.
Until another government will come again. Why can't the government speak about that 753 houses in Abuja? And so whoever has money to develop it, or they can turn the place to diaspora estate. So people in diaspora can develop the estate. One by one, we buy the property. But they kept quiet. One person in Nigeria, nobody is saying anything. When anything happens, everybody will talk about microwave system. It cool down. And you are talking of corruption. They should have Ministry of Corruption. No, I think that's the best thing.
Yes.
God will save my country, Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ade. All right, so let's take a few comments on social media as we wrap up.
Okay, so they said government needs to play its part as well. If they provide basic, then people will not shield criminals, giving them bread. Okay, so giving them bread. So what I want to say here is that even if we do our own little way, it will not be impactful, it will not be seen until the government needs to make 10 rules. These 10 rules has to come from the top. You can imagine saying that all these terrorists now, they said they are now repentant and you want to push them back into the public. They are terrorists. They are criminals. How do you push them back into the public? According to you, you are going to reorient them and all of that, and then push them back. They are criminals. You don't do that. By the time you start reprimanding them and making those kind of move them out of the eliminate them from the society, it will be better, and people will not want to go into that kind of business. If you say you are going to rehabilitate them and push them back into the public, what stops one from going into it later on? Because he knows that when he does it, they will come and pardon him, rehabilitate him, and push him back into the public to go and commit that same crime as well.
Yeah, I have
so all these things.
Yetunde Sonaike says, in Nigeria, everybody is for him or herself. God is for us all. He said, top where Nigerians are not spiritual but religious. Religion is also used to commit many atrocities. Hafsa A says, top where he just said why people are religious. The moment religious leaders start preaching how to be patriotic and stop talking about how to get rich, they will ghost the religious houses.
They will lose members.
Hafsa says, Mariah, people know they hear preaching again, oh. Now how them go take become big boys and girls? They interest everybody now.
Blue.
Yes, so.
That's it, and that's the USP churches are using. Because if you don't have that, nobody's going to come to your services. I mean, so that's why it's an inward reflection. It's a decision we as a people have to make ourselves. Because the truth is that corruption is here with us, and we must be the ones to take the bull by the horn that we don't want it anymore in our society and choose to make the right decisions in every case.
Somebody was calling you out about saying corruption and genocide, and sometimes we don't listen, or we hear but we don't listen to understand, because when they talk about banditry, every region, I remember the governor saying this, the governor was like, every region, that was before he went for the re-election, the governor of Lagos State, he said every region has the issues that they are, the unique challenges they are dealing with. That in some areas it is cultism, which is more prevalent in the southwest. He said in some areas of the country, what they are dealing with, Boko Haram is just as bad as the cultism happening in some parts of the country. It's just as bad as the kidnapping happening in some part of the country. It's as bad as banditry, it's as bad as terrorism, as in you might look at it and say, oh, how can you compare genocide with corruption? But it's a lie, because if you count the number of people that have died based on corruption, you realize that if you count the statistics of what happened in genocide, as gruesome as it is and horrible, and my heart still goes out to those that have lost their lives through it, to each man, every man within kettle. Don't look at another person's kettle, fix your own, carry your own and find a way to solve it. So when you start, when we have a conversation as powerful as the one we've had on the panel on the show today, and you decide to just pick one sentence and decide to now use it to be causing.
That means you haven't heard.
That means you did not really hear what we're trying to do. So we are not fighting one another.
So exactly.
Mariah is not fighting BC. BC is not fighting Tokwe, and neither am I fighting Ramatu. We all have different opinions, and we want you to hear all of us.
So let me rephrase. I know I'm not. Thank God I'm not on the social media today. But the point I'm trying to make is that we must see corruption as the same way Rwanda has
gravity.
Genocide, yes.
The gravity in which Rwanda took genocide is the same gravity and importance we should take corruption, because corruption has eaten so deep to the point that it has affected every fiber of our society, from birth to the hospitals to the schools.
So a 14-year-old will say, I want to do kidnapping or killing as career.
And because of the effect of it, we must be able to start highlighting it, documenting it, and start teaching our children. So that we so that we get to a situation whereby we can look back and say, this is what corruption did, but thank God today we are here. People can also travel to Nigeria and say, and see corruption, see how the roads used to be, see how they used to be dark, the darkness here, see how the buses used to be. Because of corruption, today now we have beautiful buses, we have this because things have changed. So we must document these things properly, because corruption is what has led us to where we are today. That's the truth. So any more comments?
Yetunde says, corruption is a way of life in this our climb. European countries and Americas have institutional safety nets to support the most vulnerable in Nigeria. If you are debt here, if you are poor here, you are debt. God help you. And I think that's where the focus should be. The most vulnerable people are the ones that are usually used by some of these corrupt persons, because they know that they are vulnerable. There's nobody protecting them. Government is not protecting them.
And that's why the Maslow hierarchy is important. When the government provides those basic needs,
and they're not
shelter,
a lot.
transportation, food, basic. Once they have that,
that's it.
Everybody is fine. They got the baseline for programs. We have to wrap up. Any other comments as I run off right now?
No.
2 seconds left.
Good.
Okay. That's all we can take on today. So I think really in a nutshell, we're just highlighting the importance of us taking ownership of our stake in this country. As a people, we also must understand that the issue of corruption is real, and we must begin to change consciously ourselves, the way we think, the way we do things, the way we trade, the way we relate with each other, and most importantly, we are not at war with each other. I love how Tokwe has started it. That's all we can take on today's show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.